Yeah, it was an incredible time, that 81, 82 window. You know, I got the Black Stein Returns. That was really my big break. So in early 82, there was this film, Baby It's You, and my manager, Vic Ramos, was trying to get me an opportunity to not miss out. And the best thing we could come up with was to do an audition on an audio cassette, because I had a cassette recorder with me that recorded. A lot of times they just played, but I had one that recorded. And Jodie Thielen, the actress in Black Stein Returns, read with me. She read Rosanna's role. So Vic and Matt Dillon came to visit in Morocco when we're shooting. So I was able to hand him the cassette, and I also did a screen test for The Outsiders. Just before lunch one day, I had to rip off all my Arabian costume and throw on something that looked like, I was a greaser. And I did this quick screen test. So Vic and Matt, when they returned back to the States, they brought the negative from that and the sound and everything. And that's what I think kept John Sayles' interest, because he got to hear my voice reading, and he got to see my image currently in this screen test for The Outsiders, because Zoetrope let him go over there and check it out. So that's how they kept me in mind. And then literally, I had been out of the country for 6 months, combination of Italy, Morocco, Italy, Algeria, Italy, because we were going back and forth. And I flew home to New York on, let's say, a Thursday. And on Friday morning, a rainy morning, I remember, I went for my screen test for Baby It's You. What I remember is that when I first went into a meeting with John, Marjorie, Amy, and Griffin, it was just a meeting, and we were talking. And that led towards a screen test, and a real screen test back in the day. 35 millimeter film, a set, lighting, everything. Not some, holding up some phone or some self-tape or anything like that. And it went very well. And I was awarded the role. I was very excited. And then we needed to find the actress. And so they brought me back in to read with the actresses that were doing their screen tests. Of course, one of them was Rosanna, and she was fantastic. And I think everybody knew, like, that was Jill. That was her. It's kind of interesting because she's really the lead in the film. Really, it's she's the main character. I guess the Sheik is kind of drives the story. Coming into her life as I do. But I was cast first, and we found her second. They offered me a role in The Outsiders, but the problem was they started shooting on the exact same day, and I had to make a choice. Vic Ramos, my manager at the time, would not let Francis talk to me. He says, I'm not letting him talk to you. He's an excellent salesman. And you have to make this decision on your own. So I remember being in my bedroom on Roosevelt Island, pacing around, and I had to make this decision. And I just thought, but this other script, this director, John Sayles, he's so phenomenal in what he does with so little, because I had seen The Return of the Secaucus 7, and I just thought, this guy is really special. This script is so good, this character. I said, I got to do this one. I got to just take a chance. Well, I got rewarded for making the choice that way, because obviously Baby It's You is one of the best things I've ever been a part of. It was a real blessing. And right after it, Francis offered me Rumblefish. I still got to work with Francis. If Rosanna and I had chemistry from the get-go, which we did, it was definitely noticed by everybody else. I just enjoyed working with her. It was a very natural flow. And I think it was more exciting for those that were observing it, going, oh my God, we got our cast now, It was a character unlike anything I'd ever read. The style, the dream of being a Frank Sinatra, but the misguidedness of not really going about it in a realistic way, and just being this absolute standout in high school, like nobody you've ever seen. The script was so good. It was funny. It was touching, and it really captured those almost inexplicable moments that happen with a young love that's just blossoming, and especially with two people that are from very different, communities, walks of life, whatever. It just, it just came off the page to me and said, "This is going to be something amazing to create." I guess there's two sides to all of us. There's our personal self and our persona. And the Sheik obviously has this persona that he wants to present to the world, with his style, the way he dresses, the way he talks, the way he moves around, the way he's like too cool for school, literally. That's the beauty of the story, in that when those walls finally come tumbling down, the persona can only go carry you so far, and then it's just all torn down. And that's the vulnerability that finally comes out at the end.
You don't want to go in there with me.
Yes, I do.
What are they going to think? You walk in there with some meatball.
They're gonna think I got the best looking guy in the whole place.
And it's beautiful. It's like, for an actor to create that, it's like I said, a few times in a lifetime you get that. I felt very optimistic about the Sheik's journey after this intense, couple of years with Jill, that he's faced reality. I don't think that Jill and Sheik have a future. She makes it very clear. There's a lot of love there, and connection and understanding of both, what they're both going through in kind of growing up and learning about life. And so I think they'll never, ever forget each other. The final scene is great because there are no lines between Jill and the Sheik. We're just dancing. But obviously, Stranger in the Night is playing, and the way they look at each other is the way that we all dream of looking at a partner. Just this deep, deep connection and love. In shooting that scene, we had the inventor of the Steadicam, Garrett Brown. So he's moving around the dance floor with us, and it doesn't start on us. It moves around the dance floor, and then he stepped onto a platform, and they lifted him up. So it was a Steadicam shot that turned into a crane shot. It was really cool. So no, there was never anything shot after that. That was absolutely shot as the end of the film, with no intention of going beyond that scene.